Money Minute. Many of you know about Apple Computer, and a lot of you probably own Apple computers or have owned an Apple computer at some point. Well, a lot of you don't know the history of Apple and how Apple became the massive $2.4 trillion behemoth that it's become today. I want to share the story of Apple because a lot of you have small businesses and you're worried about what your business is going to do, whether or not your business is going to grow. Well, let me tell you the story of Apple, and maybe that'll inspire you to keep going. I'm reading here from loc.gov, and basically it says that Apple Computers Inc. was founded on April 1st, 1976, by college dropouts Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, who brought to the new company a vision of changing the way people viewed computers. Jobs and Wozniak wanted to make computers small enough for people to have them in their homes or offices. Simply put, they wanted a computer that was user friendly. Jobs and Wozniak started out building the Apple I in Jobs' garage and sold them without a monitor, keyboard, or casing, which they decided to add in 1977. The Apple II revolutionized the computer industry with the introduction of the first ever color graphics. Sales jumped from 7.8 million in 1978 to 117 million in 1980, the year Apple went public. Wozniak left Apple in 1983 due to a diminishing interest in the day-to-day running of Apple computers. Jobs then hired PepsiCo's John Sculley to be president. However, this move backfired, and after much controversy with Sculley, Jobs left in 1985 and went on to new and bigger things. He founded his own company, Next Software, and he also bought Pixar from George Lucas, which would later become a huge success in computer animation of such movies as Toy Story, A Bug's Life, Monsters Inc., and Finding Nemo. Through the rest of the 1980s, Apple was still doing well, and in 1990, it posted its highest profits yet. This was, however, mostly due to the plans that Jobs had already set in motion before he left, most notably his deal with a tiny company by the name of Adobe, creator of the Adobe Portable Document Format, PDF. Together, the two companies created the phenomenon known as desktop publishing. Back in 1985, Sculley turned down an appeal from Microsoft founder Bill Gates to license its software. This decision would later come back to haunt him because Microsoft, whose Windows operating system featured a graphical interface similar to Apple's, became their toughest competition in the late 1980s and throughout the 1990s. Over the course of a few years, Apple's market share suffered slowly after its peak in 1990, and by 1996, experts believed the company to be doomed. It wasn't until 1997, when Apple desperately was in need of an operating system, that it bought out Next Software, Jobs' company, and the board of directors decided to ask for some help from an old friend, Steve Jobs. Jobs became an interim CEO, or ICEO as he called himself. Jobs was not officially the CEO until 2000. Jobs decided to make some changes around Apple. He forged an alliance with Microsoft to create a Mac version of its popular Office software. Not long after this decision was the turning point for the company. Jobs revamped the computers and introduced the iBook, a personal laptop, followed by iPod, an MP3 player, which became a market leader. The iPhone, a touchscreen cellular phone introduced in 2007, was one of the most successful products, and the company has released several new versions since. Other popular products include iPad, tablet, and the Apple Watch. Most recently, Apple has expanded its service segments with its credit card, the Apple Card, Apple News, Apple Arcade for games, and the Apple TV Plus for streaming original content produced by Apple. Steve Jobs died October 5th, 2011, but Apple continues on with its legacy with Tim Cook as the helm as CEO. The popularity of iPhones made Apple the first company valued at $1 trillion in 2018, and 2 years later, it doubled that figure. So right now, Apple's trading at about $2.42 trillion, which says this. Look, Apple started off as nothing. Apple started off as a pipe dream. Apple started off in Steve Jobs' garage. Apple also was a company that hit some really dark times. There were times where people thought Apple was going to die. The turning point for Apple, if you want the Dr. Boyce breakdown on all this, was when Apple decided to partner with its greatest adversary, which was Microsoft. So remember, one of the things that led to the decline of Apple was that they didn't want to work together with Microsoft. So that led to the creation of the Windows operating system, which was a huge competitor for them. But then when they partnered with Microsoft to develop an operating system for their Mac computers, that's when they started to take off. So maybe the moral of the story here is number one, don't give up on your dreams. Even your tiny dreams can grow into giant empires. And then two, try to make friends, not enemies. Maybe that's the moral of the story. Well, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins. Thank you for listening to the Black Money Minute. Please take care. Have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.